美薬を作ってくれないか？
作る。つまり、
If you've been following Apothecary Diaries, there's no doubt that your eyes have been glued to the maomao and jinshi pairing. From the very beginning, you've probably been charmed by the chemistry between our favorite masochistic prince and our beloved poison-obsessed detective. But what started as a purely professional relationship built on mutual benefit has slowly transformed into something just a little bit spicier and, dare I say it, more romantic. But here's the thing. This isn't your typical anime romance where characters fall for each other after one dramatic moment. There are bigger fish to fry after all, like cooking up some ice cream. Instead, Jinshi and Mamao's relationship has been a masterclass in slow burn development that respects both characters' personalities while still delivering those heart-fluttering moments we all crave. But what exactly changed between Season 1 and Season 2? How did we go from Maomao treating Jinshi like an annoying bug to actually showing genuine concern for his well-being? Let's dive into the evolution of one of anime's most captivating couples.
悪用できないようにすればいい。
No romance at the office.
念のため、色目でも使っておくか。
When we first see the relationship between Jinshi and Maomao start to form, their dynamic is refreshingly transactional. Jinshi sees Maomao as a useful tool, someone with the intelligence and skills to solve the mysteries plaguing the inner palace. Maomao, on the other hand, sees Jinshi as a hurdle to her peaceful life, so complying with his requests benefited her personal goals. In fact, at first sight, Maomao was immediately disgusted by his pretty boy charms. Jinshi was more of a bother to her at first, considering how many requests she sent Maomao's way. And unlike every other woman in the palace, Maomao is not a simple slave to Jinshi's beauty, which also has Jinshi more deeply interested in Maomao as a person. Now, while I did say we'd take a look at their relationship as a whole, there's no denying that for most of the series, especially early on, Jinshi's perspective is the one particularly shifted around. Early on, Maomao's case solving is really just rooted down to circumstance, as she does it at the request of big-time players like Jinshi and even the Emperor. Sure, she loves poison and doesn't mind ingesting a bunch on the way to discovering cunning schemes. But everything is ultimately a job. For Jinshi, there's a specific moment in the middle of the first season where that relationship starts to cloud. After the whole drama with Fon Min, Jinshi learns that Maomao's unfortunate forced labor in the inner palace was connected with Fon Min's family. This in turn presents him with a conundrum, where he has the opportunity to let Maomao go free from her service, which would lead him to lose an important chess piece. What follows is an opportunity for his fans to take a peek at Jinshi's mindset, where we can clearly see that Jinshi is starting to think way more of Maomao than just a tool. Thankfully for us fans, while he did misinterpret Maomao's words at first and set her free, he eventually changes his mind and seeks her out personally, giving us quite a sight to behold, while also showing how Jinshi is slowly falling for the Maomao addiction. With all that said, Season 1 keeps this dynamic pretty stable. Jinshi did show moments of slowly developing deeper feelings for the apothecary, but who wouldn't in this situation? What's brilliant about this setup is how it establishes trust between them before romance ever enters the picture. There may be some close calls for fluttering hearts, but it's just spice on top of the dish at the end of the day. So by the time Season 2 rolls around, these two have been through enough mysteries and dangerous situations together that they know they can rely on each other. That foundation of mutual respect and trust becomes the endearing foundation for everything that follows after. But for our case, a simple super thanks would make a great foundation for the channel. While you're at it, remember to like, share, and subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this. And make sure to join the comments too if you want to share your thoughts on anime's best slow burn romance.
目を覚ませ。おい、おい、しっかりするんだ。
The cracks in the facade. Another key moment where we can see an emotional shift occurs when Jinshi is facing danger from an assassination plot using that collapsing altar structure. At the pivotal moment, Maomao doesn't just solve the problem from a safe distance, she races directly into harm's way to save him, even putting her own health in jeopardy to get through a guard. Of course, Maomao wasn't fully aware that Jinshi was the person she was trying to save. Nevertheless, this isn't the calculated professional Maomao we got used to from earlier episodes. This is someone acting on pure instinct to protect someone she cares about. a common challenge that Maomao will be facing many episodes later. In particular, in the case of Xiaolan and of course Lolan, Maomao is also shown to put herself in dangerous situations without having a definite path to safety. Along the way, she does still make use of her calculating mind, but you can't deny that moments of friendly heroism like this are something that's evolved out of Maomao's developing character. But it's not just Maomao who's changing. After Jinshi realized that it was Maomao who saved him, visibly injured from the process, he sheds away every logical chain of thought and does what any man would do: carry Maomao out of there, princess style. This act may seem really epic and cinematic to us viewers, but there's a reason why everyone else in the vicinity is staring at this in reverence. Jinshi is a man of very high status. The fact that he has Maomao, a simple servant girl, snugly in his arms is a sign of something way more than just manliness. Status, position, all of those superficial things are right out the window. This is no longer just a simple transactional relationship. Jinshi is willing to do big things for the sake of the little green gremlin, even though she may not be completely aware of it.
それをくれるというのか、本当か、嘘じゃないだろうな。
Speaking of, while all this is happening, an important seed of thought is planted in Maomao's head during season 1, and that is Jinshi's real identity. Fast forward to season 2, Jinshi himself is biting at the gun to reveal it all to Maomao, wanting to have a more upfront relationship moving forward. As you would expect, Maomao isn't all that excited about that though, not wanting their relationship to get complicated. After all, how could she live with herself knowing she's been looking at the Emperor-to-be with such eyes of disdain? The turning point really comes in the episode during the hunting arc, with Jinshi suffering due to both the physical environment he's in and the emotional turmoil he's facing involving Maomao. A timely assassination attempt occurs that sees both him and Maomao plunging into the depths. Of course, this leads to them both taking shelter in some cave where we get some much needed glorious eye candy. But looking past all the steaminess, this is also a moment where we see both of their emotions towards each other reach an all-time high. What with Jinshi unable to handle all his bottled up emotions and Maomao literally pushed down against the floor. I suppose it's not as much romantic emotions as it is distress on Maomao's part. The best she can do here is just imagine it was a frog. Despite all this, the two somehow make it out without any emotional confrontation, leaving their relationship precariously intact. And that's why the final arc of the season, the Fox Village arc, is able to have such strong moments of JinMao for us to feast on. After being kidnapped like a princess in a generic tale, Jinshi storms the Shi clan village with his army, coming face to face with Maomao after many episodes of separation. Now nothing is hidden between the two of them. Maomao can no longer pretend she was bantering with an above average eunuch. Jinshi is of royal blood, and that itself is part of the reality of their relationship moving forward. Could he have protected her better if he had exercised his power as royalty earlier? Could Maomao have stayed ahead of this complex political scheme if she had been let in on the details earlier? And after everything we've seen of Lolan and her tragic tale and ending, is there really even space for love in the inner palace? All these questions are what linger from this arc, and thankfully we don't have to wait until season 3 to figure it all out. The Unspoken Understanding.
紳士様の手、こんなに冷えて。
By the end of season 2, both Jinshi and Maomao are left with nothing but the aftermath of the Shi clan schemes. In particular, Maomao has had to say goodbye forever to a friend whom she realized she knew nothing about. After a long life of relying on nothing but only a few people and her own intelligent mind in both the pleasure district and the inner palace, it's only natural that she hasn't had this whole relationship nailed down to an art. However, now a new beginning is right in front of her. With every end comes a beautiful start, and this beautiful figure is none other than Jinshi, who himself is wounded and tired. Even if it was just for this mission, he fully took advantage of his royal blood to rescue Maomao and put an end to the Shi clan. It's a mantle of responsibility he had painstakingly avoided, but now that he's grasped it, he's left with an uncertain future. With so much behind and in front of them, you can't exactly blame Jinshi for turning to his only source of comfort, the gremlin he had tried to save. After all that, he isn't about to not get a prize. This is deja vu, isn't it? Of course, they're once again interrupted, but it's just a superficial thing. After everything that's happened, they can't simply move on the same way they've been before. Too many regrets have been revealed, too many wrong paths have been shown, and the pricelessness of now is as clear as ever. Jinshi can no longer hesitate with everything piling up on top of him, and Mama can no longer stay passive lest she lose even more than she already has. She may not have thought much about her heart before, but it is there and it can be hurt. So maybe love isn't such a tall order to cash in after all. Though I suppose we'll just have to see what happens when we're inevitably reunited with these characters we've so deeply fallen in love with.
お前に多少の毒は効かないだろう。
神殺す気ですか？
How do you feel about the evolution of Jinshi and Maomao's relationship? Do you think the slow burn approach makes their connection more satisfying than other typical romance anime? What moments made you realize these two were just meant for each other? We can't wait to hear it. As always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you want to see more awesome content like this one. And comment down below what you thought of today's video. As always, thanks for watching. We'll be seeing you again next time.